Okay, let's try some more inverse problems. So we've got f of x equals 1/5 x cubed. We want to find the inverse function and the domain and range of each. Okay, so let's go ahead. First off, we'll just write this as y equals 1/5 x cubed. And we're going to now switch x and y. So x equals 1/5 y cubed. And now we're going to solve for y. So first off, before we get rid of this exponent, let's get rid of the 5. We're going to multiply both sides by 5. We're going to multiply both sides by 5 here. Multiply both sides by 5. So we're going to get 5x equals 5 over 5. We're just going to get y cubed. Okay, and now we've seen that the opposite of cubing something is to take the cube root. So there's two ways to write that. You could either go like, cube root like this of y cubed, cube root both sides like that. Or if you like to write it as a rational exponent, you could simply take both sides to the 1/3 power. Either way, because the 1/3 power is the cube root, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to get 3 and 3, just going to make us y equals the cube root of 5x, or y equals, put in parentheses, 5x to the 1/3. These are the exact same thing, 5x to the 1/3, cube root of 5x. So let's go ahead and fill that in, cube root of 5x. All right, thinking about the domain and range now. So the domain, it's cubed. I can plug in anything here. I'm not going to divide by 0. I'm not going to have any negative square roots, so our domain is going to be all reals, which I copy that to the range. That means all reals over here. And my range, if I just think about what cubes look like, cubic functions, remember they kind of have this little S-shaped curve. We don't have to be exact here, we're just thinking about it. So again, my y's are all going to be covered, positive and negative. So again, the range is all reals, which means the domain over here is all reals. And I realize we didn't answer the question in the first one, so let's think about this. Is f inverse a function? Is this a function? Well, I don't have any plus or minuses here, so I have for one input, one output. So yes, this is a function. This is a function. Okay, let's try another one. Number 4. F of x equals the 5th root of x minus 4 all over 2. So the 2 is not part of the root. So we're going to find the inverse function. So first off, let's start by writing y equals the 5th root of x minus 4 over 2. We're going to switch x and y now. So we switch x and y. So x equals the 5th root. The 5th root of y minus 4 all over 2. So just like when we solved with our equations with these type of roots, we want to isolate it first. We want to get rid of this dividing by 2. What's the opposite of dividing by 2? We're going to multiply both sides by 2. Multiply both sides by 2. That makes 2 over 2. So we get 2x equals the 5th root of y minus 4. Okay, and again, if you like to write it like this, you can write 2x equals the 5th root of y minus 4 like this, y minus 4 to the 1/5. In either case, we can kind of see that the opposite of taking the 5th root will be taking something to the 5th power. So 5th power like this. Or if you like this term this way better, remember it's the reciprocal power, so 5 over 1 or 5th power, it doesn't matter. It's the exact same thing, whichever notation you prefer. But in the end, we're going to be careful here. It's not just the x being taken to the 5th power, it's 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's going to give us 32x to the 5th equals, and this just becomes y minus 4. Now remember, we don't add plus or minus because we're not square rooting it. It's not an even root here. So we just get this. We add 4 to both sides. I'm just going to come over here. We add 4 to both sides. I'm going to flip it. So y equals 32x to the 5th plus 4. And we added 4 to both sides. Okay, so that is our inverse function. We just copy that up here, 32x to the 5th minus 4. 32x to the 5th, sorry, plus 4. All right, again, let's look at domain and range. Now here it looks confusing. It looks like it's a square root, so I think I can't have any negatives. But remember, since this is a 5th root, it's kind of hard to see that 5. It's a 5th root, it's an odd number. You don't actually have to worry. You can have negatives here. So my domain is not limited like a square root. So my domain is, again, all real numbers. Every x is okay. Positive numbers, 0, negative numbers, everything's okay. Copy that over here. My range is going to be all real numbers. Okay. Now the range is going to be all real numbers as well, which I copy that over. The domain over here is going to be all real numbers. So far we haven't had any problems with this. To answer, is this a function or not? There's no plus or minus. So for one input, there's just one output. So yes, this is a function. Okay, so we'll get into some more problems after this where the domain and range do look a little bit different. So let's take a look at that.